Here's what I guess today we're talking about the best-selling cards under $5. This is the Yu-Gi-Oh! Penny Stock Market Watch. Make sure you guys click that like button and the subscribe button for more Yu-Gi-Oh! Penny Stocks. What card should be your side for the new format? Some of these articles are actually kind of interesting. Without further ado, let's just jump right into it. Starting with, of course, Hulk Dynamorphia. By the way, I know what Dynamorphia does now. I don't really know why this card is so expensive. I don't know. I guess it's a unique thing. Like, there's just like they're all kind of expensive cards. Like, not like breaking the bank like $100 cards here, but like, this is like a $6 card, $6 card, $3 card. Like, the deck literally can't win in time if you're playing against someone who knows what the deck does. Because you can't do anything without having your life points. I don't know. Let me know. Once again, it's becoming a tradition at this point. Let me know what you guys think. Is Dynamorphia a good archetype? Let me know in those comments down below. But other than that, we see Brandon Red has kind of made its way back up to sort of the higher end. It's just wasn't in the structure deck, and it's a very powerful card that does very powerful things. I think it has gone down in price, though. Yeah, it has. Okay, so when it first started to go, and then ever since the YCS, this card's actually been shooting down, which is probably why it made that random resurgence. Let's take a look at the last month here. So it's starting to go back up. So this actually, mod plays are 20s, but the near mints are still about $3. It did peak at around $5, so this actually could be a very solid card to pick up right now. Brandon, listen, yes, the deck doesn't do really well into Mystic Mine. Not a lot of decks do. Yes, D-Barrier is a card. We all know that. This deck will evolve, though. This deck is going to do different things. And here's the thing, too, about this deck, is that, yes, like Branded Opening and all the Despia cards and Masquerade and just a bunch of cards, like Albert, a lot of these cards, they didn't come in the structure deck. But this archetype, the Fallen of Alabaster archetype, did come from a structure deck. So it's always going to be hanging around as like at the bare minimum, like a tier 2 deck, like deck type thing, right? Like we look at like decks like DDDs, Monarchs, Heroes, kind of, but the Heroes also because they're in the show. Salamander, like these are archetypes that all had their own structure deck, really good structure deck, and that's what the structure deck was. It was a very good structure deck that came out that had the branded monsters. They still see play today. So I don't really see Brandon Red, unless it gets a random reprint, ever losing value. And do keep in mind, if it does get a random reprint, that actually might make this value go up because this is the original version, right? And so this is probably the lowest it's going to be. I know at one point it was $1. And you might be, oh, is it going to go to $1 again? I don't think so. I think this is going to be like this is a $3 to $5 card that's sitting right now at about $2.99, $3. So, like I said, always spend your money how you want to spend your money. But I think Brandon Red could be. There's a reason why this is just randomly popped up as a top 5 selling card. And the reason for that is because it did dip a lot after the YCS. Even though they had a good showing at the YCS. Like, the deck hasn't, like, disappeared. Like, it's still, like, a lot of people say it's disappeared. Like, it hasn't disappeared. Like, it's still getting top 32s and regional tops. It's just not as dominant as I think we thought it was going to be. A lot of these cards are very similar. Okay, so we gotta have this conversation. So I just actually did a video. If you guys haven't taken a look at that, make sure you guys go check that out. I just did a video on how to beat just like Mystic Mind stun decks. If you have a tough time with those, make sure you guys go ahead and check that out on the channel. But let's take a look. Dark Neostorm version is not a penny stock, is it? Jeez. This is what YCS does, though. If you guys don't watch YCS's, I get it. 100%. They're like 10 hours long. And like some of the duels that I watched, I remember the semifinal matchup that they did. The future semifinal was like 10 minutes long. It was like the turn player went first, made an unbreakable board. They scooped. Had a couple of negates. They scooped. Then the same person went second, easily broke the board, OTK'd, and that was it. It was like maybe a 15-minute duel. So I understand it can be hard, but this is what happens. Like, this is another card, and I'm curious to see if we're going to see this card later on the Market Watch. This is another card that is a penny stock card that if you just randomly had it on in the back of your head back in March or even back in, April, you would have been, this is a dollar card, it's $5 now. You would have made, or I guess it's another about $4. You would have made like $3 per card if you would have back in May bought 10 copies of this card for $10 or let's say $15, and then you would have sold those same 10 copies today, you'd make about 35, or not 35, you make about 30 to 25 to $30, excuse me. So if you don't really enjoy watching the YCSs, I get it. Sometimes the commentary team is good, sometimes it's not that good. It just depends on the situation. But this is the reason to watch the YCS, at the very least. If you don't really care too much about the card game, if you don't really care about the meta, the reason to watch is to see what random cards are super, super, super duper good. Obviously, this card is peaking. This card is on the ban. I hope it's on the ban list. Watch. But it's been on the ban list. Watch its entire existence. And the thing is, too, we just got a ban list. So if you're worried that this card's going to get banned, it's not going to get banned soon. So it's possible you could sneak in here at about the, this person's selling it for $1.59. This one might not be here when you come check it out. But it's possible. There's no way. I don't trust this. This person knows something that I don't know. This might be here when you guys come take a look at it, but because this is $2, right? It's $2.60. I don't know. All right. Anyway, point that I'm trying to make. You could still spend like this will probably be gone, right? It's probably already gone, right? That we just see me sitting here talking about it. So we're sitting at about like $4, $4.60. It is $818 for $4.65. It's gonna hold that line for a very long time. If you think that between now and the next ban list, it's gonna go up in value, then by all means, right? If you think it's never going to get hit by the ban list, then by all means. Because like I said, it's been on the ban list watch for a very long time. And it's never been hit. So maybe it being in Sky Striker and being, Demise of the Land interaction, maybe that will get a hit. But also, maybe not. We do see the anti-spell fragrance is still here. Dark Ruler no more, actually, I'm more interested in. The Albaz Strike structure deck. There is another one. Yeah, the Spirit Charmer's one. To those who I said, let's watch this. Jeez. To those who I said to get the Spirit Charmer structure deck to sell the Dark Ruin No Mores, I hope you are not like me and you still have those Dark Ruler No More. Listen, before you go crazy, right? And I know this card is not the best example because it's an insanely powerful card. But when we look at this card, for example, it has 7 printings. It has 1 printing, actually I think 2. Or this was I don't think Shadows in Valhalla was a core set. Maybe it was. I don't think it was though. This has 1 printing in a major set. And then it has Legendary Collection Kaiba, Dual Power, a structure deck, a side set, a box, right? And look at all these versions are like $30, $20, $30, right? And the reason for that is because it's a very powerful and valuable card. Dark Ruler No More is not going anywhere. This card's not just going to randomly disappear out of the format. Like, I understand that it's not insane right now because of Sky Strikers is one of the best decks. Eldritch is still a really powerful deck, and this card can't do anything to really either of those two decks. But it will still be lingering in the format. It will always be there and available. I would say that this is a great time to buy this card, though. Like I said, I have some. If you want, if you're trying to if you're trying to find some, but no, I genuinely think this is a good time to buy this card because I feel like this could be, you're going to be kicking yourself in like 6 months to a year. Like the Albaz Strike structure deck just came out. The Spirit Charmer structure deck, I think it's like a year and a half old. When now those structure decks are a year and 2 years old, and 2 years old and 3 years old, and this still only has 3 printings, all of them are going to be super expensive. It's just how it works, right? So if you got it earlier, okay, if you got the structure decks earlier, like I had the Spirit Charmer deck profile on this channel. It was right around then, obviously, when I got the structure decks. If you got those then and you were able to sell them when they were still like $4 or $5, kudos to you. I still have mine though, so if you're like, why did you tell me to do that? Now they're $1 card, I can't get rid of them. I'm right there with you, all right? So I don't want to hear too much of it. But continuing forward, Scareclaw, interesting. Lord of Darkness, is that $1.24? That can't be right. This has always been a $2 card. I don't think I've ever seen this card not be $2. There it is right there, though. If you got Beaten to Odds, it has one sale. Their one sale did not give any feedback, but they are selling this card for a little over $2. Like I said, I think if we look at all versions of Allure Darkness, cheapest one, if we go to low to high, is the Shadal Showdown structure deck. Yeah, it's just always been a $2 card. If you can find these cards anywhere for less than $2, grab them immediately. I've never seen a Lord Darkness, 1, be on the ban list, and 2, be less than $2. So, that's just my comment on Lord Darkness. I mean, it's a great card. Like, it's not like it's necessarily speaking, like, gonna be bad. Like, there's always gonna be a dark archetype that's really, really good. Is this just because it's from Dimension Force? Yeah. I mean, it's a good card. It's not a bad card. This could be spicy. This could be spicy, because the thing with zombies, I don't know. It feels like at this point, like, every little random type has its own fan base. Like, everybody loves playing warrior decks, or dragon decks, or spellcasters, or plant decks. Not really plants, but zombies, you know, like King of the Skull Servants, Zombie Swarm, Eldritch. Like, this card could be ran in all of those, right? It also could not be, because it's not, like, amazing. But, I mean, target one monster in either graveyard, banish one monster with the same name from your deck or extra deck, and if you do, special summon the targeted monster to the field. If this card's in the graveyard, you shuffle one of your banished zombie monsters into your deck, and if you do, set this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. So, it's a really solid card, actually, overall. I would buy it if you're trying to, like, make a major profit, because this could just be, like, a $1 card for its entire existence. But, it's not a bad card. Like, I understand why it's one of the best-selling cards. And that's the thing, too. Like, if I am ever reviewing a card and on this Market Watch, it is one of the 25 best-selling cards under $5. So, take that as you will. And today is the day, isn't it? I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm just so excited. Okay. Okay, buckle up. Please fasten your seatbelts. Please keep your hands and feet inside the vehicle at all times. Thank you, and please come again. Okay, so Salamangreat. What an appropriately named deck too. Like, it's because it really is, like, it could be like maybe like Salaman Awesome, or like Salaman, like, what's another one? Terrific, Salaman Fantastic, Salaman Grande. But it's funny, Amaraj is still the most expensive one, and the deck doesn't even run it. But let's take a look at the king of the penny stock market, the Salamangreat deck. I mean, all of these cards are just to the moon. This one's kind of dipping down a little bit. After a Circle came off the ban list, people kind of freaked out a little bit. But it's calmed down. It's still doing great. Okay, I'm not going to look at every Salamangreat card. Let's just do this. Let's just do this before I get too excited. Let's just stick to this page, all right? I'm determined. I'm just going to stick to this page right here. Yeah. Where's the supers? Bro, what? That's got to calm down. Did this get bought out? Why is this? TCG player doesn't know what's going on sometimes. So, Salamangreat. 2 questions when it comes to Salamangreat. 1, is it a good deck to play? And at this point, with 3 Circle, Sign of Mining still at 3, Flame Buffalo still doing its things, Rage and Roar being a fantastic card, Ash Blossom having insane synergy with Wolf, and Access Code Talker still being a thing. Yes. Here's the thing, too. I just kind of briefly mentioned it with Access Code Talker. Cybers is always getting new cards. Like, there was a new Cybers card in Ghost from the Past, the Second Haunting. I forget the name of the card, but it also can kind of work in this archetype. Like, so Cybers, you know, I was talking about just a couple of seconds ago, or a couple of minutes ago at this point, about zombies are a very popular type. Cybers is one of the most popular types in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! And there is so much Cyber support. So that's what's cool about Salamangreat is, like, yes, it's a very linear, like, you gotta run the Foxies and the Jacks and the Spinnies and the Gazelles. But you can also kind of mess around with it too. We've seen like Sea Archer make its way into the archetype. Lady Debug has made its way into the archetype. Like I said, the new card that just came out, obviously there's Parallel Exceed. Some people are running like the Transcode Talker and different Code Talker cards. All of it's cool, right? All of it's fantastic. Like I said, it's a Salaman awesome deck. Now, that was the first question. But the second question, is this a good deck just to invest in? So I'll say this. I got Salamangreat like a year ago now at this point, because this was going to be the deck that I was going to play. Just whatever, you know, $100 deck. I needed the Ash Blossoms anyway. Let's just get it going. And then I bought 3 copies of Gazelle and 3 copies of Circle on the off chance they came off the ban list, and they became very valuable. If you're like me, now is a great time to sell. Is it possible in the next ban list we could see Gazelle come to 2 or 3? But is it also possible that we could see Gazelle come to 2 or 3, and Salamangreat won't do that much better? Like, if we really look at how Salamangreat's been playing, it hasn't really been that good. Like, it's gotten a random regional top 32 here or there, but it was doing that when Circle was at 2. It was doing that when Circle was at 1. It was doing that when Mirage Stalio was still banned. So, like, I don't really think, like, I would like to think that Gazelle coming back to 3 would make this deck just tier 0 confirmed, like it was before. But this deck's prime was 3 years ago. Okay, so odds are you are seeing the peak of the prices of this card. So is this a good time to buy Salamangreat cards? Probably not. Is this a good time to sell them? Yes. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know in those comments down below. What cards under $5 or less are you really looking into? Right? Let me know in those comments down below. Make sure you guys click that like button to show your support for the channel. Subscribe for even more content. But most importantly of all, have a good day.